Hi guys, it's Claire with Rent to Grown, and today something weird happened. I got my first snow day as an adult. When I woke up this morning, it was negative 17 degrees and the wind chill was negative 40. So the county shut down and I didn't have to work. In the meantime, I have been working on some of the stuff that I pulled out of my freezer that I've needed to process. So I'm making a couple of different things today, but most importantly, I am corning a beef heart. Let's take a look. So before I show you what I'm doing to corn my beef heart, I do have a bunch of pork neck bones and some what looks like some little rib meat and stuff like that. I went ahead and thawed it and roasted it in the oven for about 20 minutes or so at about 400 or 450 degrees. So I'm going to go ahead and put it, this whole thing is full with water, and I'm going to be making pork stock. So I'm going to go ahead and just start tossing these guys in because they are going to need to cook for a very, very long time. I'm also going to throw in a couple of bay leaves and 2 onions that I literally just cut in half. Alright, I put about 7 bay leaves in there. And let's see if I want to put anything else. I think I'm going to put just a little bit of smoked chipotle pepper. Not a ton, just enough to give it a little bit of a spice to it. And then finally I'm going to add some garlic powder. I would put like a whole clove of garlic in this if I had it, but I don't. So we're going to let that hang out right there. And then, I don't even know if I have anything big enough to stir this with. This? I guess this is going to be my stirrer. Alright, so now that I've showed you my pork stock or pork broth or whatever you want to call it that I'm making, let me show you the beautiful brine that I just made for corning my beef heart. Alright, here is my brine. I had just some pickling spices and some thyme and some bay leaves and stuff like that, garlic powder. I poured all that in there with 2 quarts of water and 2 cups of pickling salt. I will link a video in the description below that gave me my roundabout idea for that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my heart and open it for the first time and see if it has been thinned of its fat or if that's something that I need to do now. So here is my beef heart. I've trimmed a lot of the fat off and they left some of the little veins and arteries and things on the inside. So I've taken care of that. Obviously, normally it would sit like this and be much more robust and have a little bit of fat on it for protection. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of my brine and put it in this container, which is what I'm going to use to corn this bad boy. I'm going to take some of my brine, put it in there, put this in there, and fill it the rest of the way up with brine. Alright, so we've got the heart in here with all of that wonderful brine, and it is perfectly fine to sit this out on the counter and let it brine and let it corn for the next couple of days. But you just got to make sure that the heart itself is totally, completely submerged underwater at all times. There's enough salt in here that it'll keep it from rotting, but if it's exposed to the air, it will rot. So you got to keep it submerged. Now, this container, the reason that I chose it is because it has this cool lid like this. Isn't it cute? I'm sure you could put like potpourri or candy or something in there, but I'm weird, so I don't do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and turn it upside down and use the ball to hold my heart underwater. And then I will, I may put it in the refrigerator, honestly, but I could completely leave it just like this for the next, 3 to 7 days, depending on how strong I want that flavor. Look at that. Look at that in there. But yeah, I could absolutely, you can see there's salt lines from where I spilled a little bit earlier, and that is just because of how salty this water is. It is totally fine to have it sit just like this. But I may still go ahead and put it in the refrigerator because Matthew's going to be a little weird about it. Speaking of Matthew, he knew that I had a beef heart in the freezer, and he knew that I had neck bones in the freezer, and he knew eventually what I was planning on doing with them, but he did not know when he left for work this morning that I was doing it today. So he'll be home here in like half an hour, and I think I'm gonna leave this heart out on the counter for him to find. He usually comes home and will check out the kitchen, see if I've made anything, and usually he'll go right to doing dishes because he's kind of a catch. So I think I'm gonna leave it out for him to find so he asks about it. I'll let you know how that goes. Make sure that you stay tuned here in the next week or two when we actually cook and eat this thing, and I'll let you know if it's any good. And keep an eye out on Facebook and Instagram. If you want to hear about the great catastrophe that I had in the fermentation corner today, make sure you go check out my Facebook page. I did a live video over there, but I posted it so you can check it out on the replay. But yeah, as always, guys, I want to thank you so much for watching, and I will see you around. Bye. Hi, honey. Welcome home. You gonna eat it if I leave it sitting out at room temperature?
I mean, you gotta cook it first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna let me sit it at room temperature? You don't want me to put it in the refrigerator? I'm shocked. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.